The book begins with a discussion of the alphabet, which is actually a Greek word, alphavito. See it down here. And it is the origin of our English alphabet, that we get it through the Romans, who liked it and adapted it and then passed it on. So a lot of the letters are going to look familiar. So my intention here is to show you what you already know and then just add the few extra details that you need. So here is the cursive Greek alphabet, modern Greek alphabet. It's the same as the ancient Greek alphabet. They use the same letters. They did reassign some of the values. So you start right here. You have alpha. That looks very familiar. It looks like our A. In fact, it is. Alpha. This is, of course, the B sound. This is a little bit harder to recognize. This is the origin of our letter G. G. So that one's a little bit difficult to recognize. This letter here is our D sound. That is the origin of our letter E. The capital letter there is obvious. Of course, we get our letter Z from it. But down here, that's a little bit more difficult, so that'll take some time to get used to. This is entirely new. This looks like H, right? And that doesn't look like anything at all, maybe an N. This is actually a vowel, and it is Ita. Ita, so that one needs special study. That one should look familiar. It is the theta sound, and it's pronounced like th. Of course, that's our letter I. There's our letter K. That one's a little bit more disguised. That's our letter L, the source of it. Of course, M. This one, the capital is obvious. The smaller one's going to be a little bit difficult to get used to. It looks like it's upside down, right? It's this way. So that one needs a little extra study. Capital there, of course, our N. And this is deceptive because it almost looks like a U. But this is an N sound. This is totally bizarre. So that one, and that one. Those are the only novel letters that you have so far. This is a C sound. It's actually representing two consonants pronounced together. It's called a double consonant. And it's representing a K sound and an S sound. So ks, ks. It's like our X in some words, like our word exit. Not exit, but exit. So that we'll have to work on that a little bit. Okay, obviously. That is, if you know any mathematics, that's our letter pi. So p. This one is deceptive. It is not P, it is an R sound. You have to put a little line on that to get our R. And this one, again, you're going to confuse that for a while. Of course, the S sound, that looks familiar. That's our origin of our letter S. That one's a little bizarre. It's still the same letter, only this is what's used when it's in the middle of a word, or at the beginning when it's not capitalized. So that one, it'll look a little peculiar for a while. Of course, our T sound. There is a U. There we go. That looks good in the small case, but in the larger case, that looks like a tree, right? It looks like a palm tree. And so that, again, you're going to have to focus on. And then the next three are a little difficult. That's Phi. If you know any sororities or fraternities, you recognize this letter. It's F sound. F. This one is... it's going to be difficult to pronounce. We don't have any sound like this in English. It's sort of a rough, like an H sound with a little bit of friction in the palate. We say it's he. He. And again, you might think this is the X, right? But it's not. And then this looks like this, so you have to watch out for whether that circle is closed. This is psi. Again, another consonant, a double consonant here. It's a P sound right there and an S sound. So if you can put a P and an S together, you can pronounce it ps, like cup start. I'll think of something. And then here is omega. You might recognize this if you come from a Christian background, alpha and omega. And then that looks like a W. So that can be deceptive. Okay, so I went through that quickly. Let's take a look again. There. So here is your alpha. Beta, which is, we get our letter B from it. Now this has been reassigned, and we'll talk about the pronunciation in a minute. I'm just trying to get you to recognize the letters. That one is going to take some work. That one. This entire letter, that is a vowel. This is our L sound. Again, it looks a little peculiar. I should have marked this one too. That M, that could be a little tricky. Nu. Ksi. Double consonant. K. Si. K. Si. An R sound. There's that S sound that's in the middle of a word or at the beginning. Fi, he, psi, and then omega. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hot spots, but you'll get used to it. Okay, alpha, you're not going to have any troubles recognizing this letter. It's pronounced ah, as in father. Ah, 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 ah. Even though that looks like a B, it is pronounced v. V, as a V. 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 So that when you put a little asterisk next to it, it's like a false friend. You think it's going to be a B, but it's pronounced V. This is gamma, 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 and it's pronounced in one of two ways. It's either pronounced as a G, as in gamma, ga, ga, or it can be pronounced really lightly, almost like a W, like a W. W. Now this is, Greek is going to have a little bit of this variation in the pronunciation of letters, but it's nothing like English, which is totally crazy. There's no way sometimes to tell how a word's going to be pronounced by looking at how it's spelled. That's how crazy it is. But in Greek, there are some variations. Also, a feature of the modern Greek language is consonant assimilation. That is, if you have consonants next to one another, it'll change the way one of the consonants is pronounced. And there are just a handful of instances of that. It's really a striking feature of the modern Greek language. Consonant assimilation, sometimes even when they're not part of the same word. So anyway, this could be a G or Y. This obviously is the origin of our letter D, and it's not pronounced as a D. It's pronounced as like a th sound, only with a voiced part of it. It's pronounced the, like this. See, the TH is not just th in English, it's the. So this letter will be the. Vendron. Vendron. The. Delta. Epsilon, no problem there. This is the letter Z, but our letter Z can be purely sibilant, like Z, 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 Z. But this again has a voice part of it. It's Z, Z, Zita, Zita. This is that letter that doesn't have any, well, we get our word letter H from it, but that's because it's been reassigned. This is a vowel. And in modern Greek, it's pronounced as E. 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 Like long E. E. Right there. I'm going to try practice writing that. I do it this way. Let's see. Write down. And then the little tail that goes a little bit under the line. Like that. Here's theta, and this is it's got the th sound, but without the d at the beginning of it. Let me think of a word here. Thello. Thello. Not thello, but not thello, but thello. So it's just wind coming between your tongue and your teeth. Thello. And it's distinguished from the delta down here. Let's just do that. Thello. Vendron. Thello. Vendron. See the difference? Iota, again pronounced as an E. No problem there. It's our letter I. K, kappa. K, like our letter K. Lambda. L. No problem there. It's a liquid sound. That's what we call that type of a consonant. Liquid, because it kind of rolls around in the mouth. M. 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 This is the letter mi. M. Like an M. Sometimes. Other times, if it's in conjunction with other... I don't want to scare you, but if it has like a vowel, a certain kind of vowel, a consonant after it, it's going to be pronounced differently. But we'll study that when we get to it. Ni. This is our letter N. N. Nothing remarkable about that. There's our double consonant. It's a k sound, which is actually called a palatal because of the place that it's pronounced in the mouth. K, plus an S sound, so it comes out as x, x, like exit. X, not exit, which is how you can hear it in American English. Exit. Exit. Omicron. O. P, 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 p. Peplos. P, p. This is deceptive in its appearance. This is ro. Just R. 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 Again, it's just deceptive. Sigma. This is, again, a S sound, s, but in certain combinations it could be a z, depending on what comes after it. T, always pronounced t. Like in American English, sometimes a T can come out as a D, but this is always pronounced like the British t, 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 tin, t, tin. This is a vowel, and it is upsilon in ancient Greek, but it's been reassigned in modern Greek to another E sound. E, so it's called ypsilon. Ypsilon. So that is 3 different ways that Greek can write the same sound. The sound E can be written either as an iota or an eta, which is, again, is modern Greek we pronounce eta. That's that letter that looks like H, or as an ypsilon. So even though this looks like a U, in modern Greek, it's another way to write that sound, E. This is phi. Phi. So actually in ancient Greek, it was a double consonant. It was the p sound plus a breath of air. P. Is how it was originally, like top hat. Top. P. But now it's been reassigned simply to the F sound. F, f, phi. This one is hard to pronounce. It can be somewhat aspirated, like, but it can also be de-emphasized to the point that sometimes it's written in modern Greek like an H, like helia. 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 In ancient Greek, it would have been, much harder, almost like a Hebrew sound or an Arabic sound. But in modern Greek, it's or just. Okay, so this is the letter he. And it's deceptive again because it looks like our letter X, doesn't it? But it's not X, it's he. sail. Topsail. P-S, double consonant. Very simple. Once you recognize it, I mean, it looks like a pitchfork, right? Pitch. Hey, well, pitch. Oh, that won't work. I was thinking maybe we could set up a mnemonic device. If you see a pitchfork, we have to somehow come up with spitchfork. Fork. Nevertheless, psi. Psilia. And finally, we have the letter omega. And it's pronounced just like the Omicron. O. Oh, in ancient Greek, obviously, they would have been pronounced differently. Otherwise, they wouldn't be two different letters for them, right? But in modern Greek, it's just O. Omega. O. Tro. O. Tro. So one thing I'm really big on when I teach modern Greek is practicing the muscles. Because it really does change the shape of your face when you pronounce a different, foreign language, because you're using your mouth and your embouchure and your teeth and your tongue in ways that you don't in English. So we do a lot of these little drills. Pa. So let's try it. Pa. 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 Now, one thing about English speakers, American English speakers, when they're trying to learn foreign languages, is that in American English, our vowels are not simple matters at all. They are diphthongs. They are all over the place. It's not, a vowel in English can go through like 3 different gradations before you're done. Apple, apple. But in most other languages, a vowel is crisp, pa. So this is not pa, it's pa. P. So that's one, road to fluency, or to make it sound as if you're speaking the language in a way that it's meant to be, is by keeping the vowels crisp. Pa, po, pe, po. Pronounced the same way as that. P, P, P. It's the way it is. P, P, P. Pa, po, pe. Po, P, P, P. Pa, po, pe, po, P, P, P. Try it. Pa, po, pe, po, P, P, P. If I could, I'd get a metronome. Maybe I do have a metronome. Maybe I'll set one up and we'll do it that way. Pa, po, pe, po, P, P, P. Faster. Pa, po, pe, po, P, P, P. Ta, to, te, to, ti, ti, ti. Ta, to, te, to, ti, ti, ti. Tin. Ta, to, te, to, ti, ti, ti. Ta, to, te, to, ti, ti, ti. How are you going to pronounce this? Va. Va, vo, ve, vo, vi, vi, vi. Va, vo, ve, vo, vi, vi, vi. You can put this on pause if you want and practice it as much as you like. Va, vo, ve, vo, vi, vi, vi. Let's try something a little more challenging now. Ha, ho, he. Ha, ho, he. If these were kappas, you'd have ka, ko, ke. Ha, ho, he. Ka, ko, ke. Ha, ho, he. Mo. That's N, right? Ni. Li. Si. ho, he. Wish I could show you how I'm doing that with my mouth. I'm kind of opening my mouth like I'm astonished, pushing my tongue back a little bit toward the palate, and then just pushing air over it. Ha, ho, he. Mo, ni, li, si. Ah. Now, I do have some practice with kappas. Good, good, good. Ha, ha, ko. Yeah. Now, once again, I'm using the time when this he is pronounced with some rough air in it. There are other places where this letter will be used so silently that, again, a transliteration of a Greek word into English will just put an H there, or maybe even a Y. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like there's no there's no friction at all in it. But that's easy. This is more difficult. Like at the beginning of words. Chasmos. Halasmata. Halasmata. Not yalasmata, but halasmata. So ha, ko, he, ko, he, ki, he, hyoni. That's the word for snow. Hyoni. Hyoni. Not yoni, but hyoni. Ha, ko, ke, ko. Did I get that right? Ha, ko, he, ko, he, ki, he. It's tough. All right, so that's the beginning of the discussion of the alphabet in chapter 1. Next thing we have to deal with are diphthongs, that is two vowels that come together. We'll also be looking at accent marks. There's actually only one. That's pretty simple. And then we're going to start talking about consonant assimilation. Okay, so that's coming up next. In the meantime, I've got some more exercises for you to practice. Also, the book has some, and the tape series has some practice for you, but it's taking a little bit out of order. Why don't you let me get the whole alphabet laid out for you before you go to the tape series or the CD or the downloadable MP3s, whatever they are now. Okay?